Hi, my name is Dr. Dharm Sidhu. I'm a naturopathic doctor in Vancouver, Canada. And today I would like to share some of my thoughts about how health issues are huge opportunities, that we can actually be grateful for the health issues that we have because they are indicating to us ways in which we are way off track in how we're treating ourselves and how we're treating each other, how we're treating the environment. We're breaking some kind of law of love and truth. And the consequence of it generally can show up very quickly in your health. And the more sensitive you are, the quicker you can recognize that something is out of line. I'm denying something, I'm denying a truth, I'm denying an emotion. And in my work, I see that as we have spent our whole life denying and suppressing emotion from childhood, um, our health issue is a clue that otherwise is very difficult for us to clue in, to guess, to figure out how am I out of alignment in my life? How am I already creating so much unhappiness for myself and others? And the health issue is always a clue because depending on the type of health issue and the location that you can have a clue, I must be denying something. So I find that health issues are actually an advantage. And if you can become sensitive to this, over time, you can actually change your whole life and be grateful for the health issue that woke you up. That is, if you can have the attitude of wanting to investigate. What am I missing? What am I denying? What am I suppressing? Generally, our attitude is to take away the effect of the health. So, for example, if I have a cold, how quickly can I take decongestant, take painkillers? If I have aches and pain all the time, take something to take away the effect. If I have sleep issues, take some herbs. Even herbs can be wonderful to help you sleep, but you're trying to make it go away and get better instead of saying, I'll take some medicine that can be supportive and helpful. And I need to figure out what it is that I'm denying that I need to bring into my consciousness so that I can start to feel through it. Because generally, you got to release some emotions, but also start to recognize why we're acting in a certain way towards ourselves and others. So, for example, if let's say one of the values you learn very young as a child is that people need to seek worth, and then you can find worth through success, for example, or fame or fortune. It could be appearance, it could be the spouse you have, it could be the material success you have. It could be that you have children or what your children are like, what kind of lifestyle they have, what kind of accomplishments they have, what gender children you have. So now you're chasing an addiction. You're chasing what? And you are no longer connected to your true self, to your authentic nature, and you're no longer connected to your own energy. And now over time, the chasing, the behavior that you take on, will start creating a health impact, which we generally ignore. For example, you may feel really tired because you're not in alignment with yourself, but now you're going to take caffeine. Or you are depressed, you are dissatisfied, you are discontent. Well, now you're going to try to find fun. You're going to try to go partying. You try to go holidaying. You try to find something to compensate for this feeling of I'm off target. And all of those behaviors also will eventually create health problems. And then it just keeps escalating. I can have patients that come in to say, I need more energy. I have no energy because the body is now exhausted from having to chase something that is breaking a law of life, basically. You're allowed to do it, but there are compensations. And they're saying, give me energy so I can go back and do this some more. Um, or make me look a certain way, or get me to lose weight, or get me to be more fit, or take away this illness I have plans, and this illness, this autoimmune, this chronic pain, this exhaustion is interfering with what I'm chasing. Um, these are conversations that I have in my practice where I try to point out that if you have more energy only to chase the thing that brought you here, you're just going to keep getting sicker. And that I don't want to take that on. It's like an ethical issue for me to not take on the job of enabling you to keep hurting yourself that way, and instead try to point out to you, why are you chasing this thing? This is an emotional addiction, and addictions are addictions. They are a frenzy, they are difficult to confront, they're very uncomfortable to get through, but you kind of, you're not yourself. And generally, for myself, I have to see that I've created a lot of pain for myself and others. And my health was always trying to point out to me, I'm off target before I decide to wake up to the addictions. And I've inherited a genetic condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So there's a lot of pains and weaknesses and instability that comes with it, fortunately, because I have no choice but to investigate, why am I having so many health issues? And as I continue to investigate, I've woken up to a lot of things I'm doing that is not in harmony, and slowly changing to becoming a different person that's more connected to myself. And one of the biggest awareness I've had is that we're meant to be emotional beings, self-responsible emotional beings. You know, it's your emotion that you can lovingly deal with on your own. Um, but we're meant to be emotional beings. And one of the early messages I received very young in life is to numb out, to shut down emotions. And so there's a lot of things that I've had to reverse and therefore slow down my role of causing damage, because the health issues were so in my face. I had to wake up to investigate it. So my encouragement for you is to not see your body or your health issue as an hindrance. A lot of people get very angry with their bodies. They feel betrayed by the body. They feel that the body should get on with the program, which is a clue on how you're treating yourself. And be curious with the opportunity that your health issue is giving you, so that you can come back to being your authentic self and wake up to the pain you're actually causing yourself and others. And wake up to being your authentic self and find this other flow of energy and love that wakes up in you as you become more yourself. And it has a huge benefit, especially towards your children, as you start to do this kind of work. Those are my thoughts for today, and thank you for watching.